Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking a deep dive into the 6 worst new motorcycles that leave most owners drowning in regret. Number 6. Harley-Davidson Nightster. The Harley-Davidson Nightster tries to deliver classic Harley soul inside a modern stripped-down design, yet somehow manages to drop the ball in almost every imaginable way. It starts a little over 13 grand, which sounds fair until you realize how much has been left out. That 975cc Revolution Max engine looks impressive in the brochure, but once you get it on actual pavement, it feels more meh than menacing. It lacks the thump, the low-end grunt, and honestly the entire personality Harley buyers are hunting for. Instead of a true American cruiser, what you end up with is a rolling identity crisis. Build quality feels cheaper than you'd ever expect. More plastic than premium anywhere you look. For a brand known for timeless steel and chrome, the Nightster comes across like a cost-cutting experiment no one properly tested. The suspension is stiff enough to loosen teeth, and the ergonomics feel confused, like Harley couldn't decide between relaxed cruiser or aggressive cafe racer, so they stopped somewhere in the middle and called it done. Add taxes, dealer fees, and the upgrades you'll need just to make it somewhat tolerable, and suddenly you're pushing $16,000 while wondering why you didn't just buy a used Fat Bob with actual personality. At the end of the day, the Nightster teaches you how to spend big money and still walk away feeling ripped off. It might grab your attention if you want Harley flavor on a budget, but after some time in the saddle, you'll quickly realize this is the bike you quietly trade in, not one you brag about. Number 5. Kawasaki Eliminator. The Kawasaki Eliminator looks like a fun machine on first impression, but quickly becomes the kind of purchase that ends up on Craigslist accompanied by a sad explanation. Just under 7 grand, it tries to sell you a modern cruiser attitude. What it actually delivers feels more like a beginner bike dealing with a midlife crisis. Sure, it's light and low, but once you push past 55, that 451cc parallel twin starts sounding like it's working a double shift at a job it hates. Twist the throttle and you'll immediately realize this is nowhere near the muscle cruiser its name pretends it is. It's more like the gym membership you keep paying for but never use. And the seat. Imagine Kawasaki thinking a cafeteria tray would make perfect padding. After 45 minutes, your lower back begins sending distress signals. The rear shocks won't help either, especially if you weigh more than 160 pounds or live somewhere with actual roads. Looking at you, Michigan. Despite its wannabe outlaw styling, there's no gear position indicator, so you'll be guessing shifts like a lost tourist wandering Times Square. Fuel efficiency is decent, but with just a 3.7-gallon tank, you'll be stopping for gas way more often than any commuter bike should force you to. Resale. With so many stronger choices around this price, Eliminators sit on used listings longer than an unanswered Tinder message. In short, the Kawasaki Eliminator tries really hard to be cool but ends up feeling like a half-committed cover band performing someone else's hit. If you're thinking about buying one, maybe eliminate that idea first. Number 4. Honda Shadow Phantom. The Honda Shadow Phantom is the kind of bike that shows up looking like a full-blown rebel, but rides like it's forever stuck behind a minivan in school pickup traffic. You get full blackout styling, a low seat, and enough attitude to convince yourself you're getting something tough for around 8 grand. Then you actually hop on it, and reality hits harder than waiting your turn at the DMV. The 745cc twin engine delivers about as much excitement as a cup of decaf. It's fine for puttering around town, but the moment you try hitting the highway, you'll wish you'd picked literally anything with a bit more spark. This thing isn't just slow, it's the kind of slow that makes you double-check if the parking brake is still on. Comfort-wise, imagine sitting on a park bench somebody installed wheels on. The rear suspension is stiff enough to make sure you feel every pothole the city never bothered filling. And while the low seat height looks good on the spec sheet, it murders your cornering clearance. You'll grind pegs long before the fun even begins. Tech. Basically non-existent. No traction control, no ride modes, and in some regions not even standard ABS. For almost $9,000, you're pretty much buying a speedometer and a side of disappointment. And resale doesn't help. The value drops faster than your excitement after the first ride. Bottom line, the Shadow Phantom is all style with zero substance. You pay extra for the look, but the ride leaves you feeling completely Number 3. Harley-Davidson Road Glide. The Harley-Davidson Road Glide is a $25,000 tribute to roaring pipes, wind tunnel fairings, and instant buyer remorse. On paper, it's the ultimate touring cruiser with that iconic shark nose fairing and big V-twin attitude. Reality kicks in right after your down payment clears. At almost 900 pounds, it handles like a hungover couch. Slow-speed maneuvers become free leg workouts, and parking it feels like trying to dock a cruise ship on land. The fancy infotainment system sounds great in marketing materials, but behaves like it was programmed by someone who's never used a smartphone. Glitchy navigation, laggy touchscreen, random Bluetooth dropouts. The Milwaukee 8 engine throws off enough heat to grill a sandwich by mile 10. For this price, you'd expect the suspension to be plush, but instead it treats every pothole like a personal attack. Fuel economy ensures the gas station attendant learns your name, and that iconic exhaust note doubles as a neighborhood alarm clock at 6 a.m. Depreciation also hits hard. All things considered, the Road Glide isn't an awful bike, it's just an overly expensive reminder of why you should insist on longer test ride. Number 2, Indian Chief. The Indian Chief is a perfect example of style completely overpowering substance. It looks like 17 grand worth of rolling American artwork, but after a week, you'll realize most of that money went into chrome shine instead of actual performance. It's got a big 111 cubic inch Thunderstroke engine and that classic cruiser posture that screams tough guy. Out on real roads, though, it handles like a barge trying to parallel park. Nearly 700 pounds of motorcycle corners with all the eagerness of a tired buffalo. For something marketed as modern, the tech package feels stuck in 2009. No ride modes, no meaningful safety features, and a basic digital display that makes an old iPod look futuristic. Ride quality. The suspension acts like potholes or character-building challenges. Long highway rides send you to the chiropractor, and city streets feel like mild off-road trails. Heat management is practically non-existent. This thing cooks your legs like it's prepping barbecue. And with the Indian dealer network being limited, unless you're near a big city, service can mean long rides and even longer waits. Parts are expensive and resale drops faster than your enthusiasm after the first month. Bottom line, the Indian Chief looks stunning in your driveway, but every ride reminds you that you made a costly mistake. Number 1, BMW R18. The BMW R18 is a huge, beautiful cruiser that turns heads, usually for the wrong reasons once the paperwork is signed. Starting around 16 grand and easily climbing past 20 with a few options, it's a massive investment that often ends up as a very expensive garage ornament. On paper, it's retro charm mixed with German precision. In real-world riding, it's a heavy, awkward overachiever that tries to compete with Harley and ends up tripping over itself. That 1800cc boxer twin is enormous and makes mountains of torque, but feels like total overkill in town and stubborn in traffic. The bike weighs nearly 800 pounds. Try pushing it around a parking lot or making a tight U-turn without looking like you're wrestling a vending machine. Maintenance comes with the full BMW tax, oil changes, valve checks, and parts are never cheap. Drop it, and plenty of new R18 owners do, and the repair bill will make you question every life choice since high school. Resale value melts faster than guacamole left on the counter. In the end, the R18 is another case of style-beating substance. It's jaw-dropping in the showroom, but becomes the two-wheeled equivalent of an expensive, uncomfortable Tinder date you can't wait to ghost. And that wraps up today's list. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button and subscribe for more content on the way.